Welcome. This is Love and Relationship Clinic, where everything and anything about sex and love is discussed. We are here to promote healthy relationships and emotional safety. I'm your host, TB Caleb. This talk show is powered by Beck Vision Studio. Welcome to the clinic. Hello everyone. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Love and Relationship Clinic. I'm your host, TV Keller. This talk show is powered by Beck Vision Studios. You're welcome. Tonight, on this edition, we'll be treating another relationship issue. In the clinic, anyone can bring in their trouble, their issue, whatever you have that is bothering you about love and relationship, even sex. You can bring that to the clinic and the clinic doctor will attend to you. We have a guest in the clinic on this edition, Hope from Ghana. She will be asking questions from the clinic doctor. And hopefully, as usual, the clinic will provide answers. For anyone who has questions, who has troubling issues concerning their relationship, concerning love, concerning sex, you can always reach out to the clinic doctor and we will provide answers to all your questions. It's another relationship clinic talk show, another relationship matter, and we'll be treating them here and now. We have Hope from Ghana. We'll take a break now. When we return, Hope will be asking our questions. I will be providing answers. Thank you. Let's take a breather. Welcome. This is Love and Relationship Clinic, where everything and anything about sex and love is discussed. We are here to promote healthy relationships and emotional safety. I'm your host, TB Caleb. This talk show is powered by Beck Vision Studio. Welcome to the clinic. All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So we have Hope from Ghana. Hope, are you here? Let's have your question one after the other. Ask your questions, and the clinic doctor will answer them.
Yes, I'm here and I'm so happy to be on the show. I This question has been on my mind because I had one or two problems like with these kind of things. So, when I started like listening to your show, I was like this is the right time to like talk to somebody I feel like that have, more insight and more to share. So I want to ask you this question. Is love at first sight a real thing?
Wow. Hope from Ghana. Thank you for your question. Hope is asking us in the clinic if love at first sight is a real thing. All right, Hope, I would like to tell you that love at first sight is a possibility. So, whether it is real or not is actually subjective because love itself is subjective. Every individual has their own unique experience of what love is. So, it is a possibility because it's the starting point for most couples. I've seen couples who said, oh, the first time they met their lover, they fell in love, and today, after 20, after 30 years, they're still together. Yes, we cannot deny that they fell in love at first sight. But that is not a guarantee that love at first sight is always real. What actually matters is when you feel this love at first sight, what happens after? So some couples have lived happily after meeting the person for the first time and falling in love. However, I think that it's a subjective experience, like I said before, and it can only be reduced to physical attraction because you just, there's something about that person that caught your fancy the first time you saw them. So, and that is what is interpreted as love. And then there is sexual tension, there is excitement, and all of these things relate to hormones that will be secreted in your body when you experience this physical attraction, this sexual tension, and the accompanying excitement. There is oxytocin, the love hormone. There is serotonin. Serotonin is um, the hormone that increases happiness. Then the dopamine, which is the feel good hormone, Serotonin will now help you to heighten all of this feeling, because serotonin will increase your learning process, it will increase your memory, and then it will increase your feeling of happiness. And so, after meeting this person, maybe at a coffee shop, maybe at a restaurant, maybe some cyber cafe or somewhere, or even at a shopping mall, and you just cannot sleep. You're just thinking about this person all the time. You want to see them again, and you're interpreting that as love. I think it's safe to say that it's basically a matter of physical attraction. And as you continue to imagine all of the things you've seen that you admire about the person, things that attracted you to the person, then sexual tension will begin to build, and then there is excitement that follows. Almost everything about love actually is subjective, and there is no guarantee that your love relationship would last longer because you have taken a long time or a lot of time to get to know your potential partner, and then this other person is just seeing the person for the first time and they are falling in love. There's no guarantee that one love experience will last longer than the other one. What matters is the people involved. I always tell people that the quality of any relationship is a reflection of the quality of the individuals involved in the relationship. So there's a similar fate that happens to whether love at first sight or love that happens over time. Slowly, step by step, you keep knowing the person, learning about them, and then you keep falling in love gradually, gradually, which is actually the safer way to experience love. But then there is no guarantee that because you followed this safer way, so there is a guarantee that your love will last longer than the person who fell in love at first sight. And no guarantee at all. It's a subjective experience. But I am really convinced that most cases of love at first sight is a matter of physical attraction, sexual tension, and some level of excitement, and then all of these things also, some relationship experts may reduce these things to lust and infatuation. Say, oh, you're just infatuating about this person. It's not something serious. Maybe because the kind of clothing they were putting on, maybe because of what they said, maybe because of something, something, something that may not guarantee a lasting relationship. So, but I'm here to tell everybody that the Love and Relationship Clinic believes that love at first sight exists. It's a possibility. We do not deny it because it's a subjective experience of the individual who says they are falling in love at first sight. But we are here to advise people, to counsel people, to tell you that love at first sight is very risky. So, when you take your time to know a potential romantic partner, it makes the risk safer. There is a risk. You know, Meeting somebody from a different background, sometimes from a different culture, from a different country, from a lot of differences from you, and then you want to connect with the person as friends, you want to relate with the person as a romantic partner, you want to start doing things together, and sometimes you want to share space together, you want to live together with them. It's a lot of risk. It's a lot of risk. So it is a risk nonetheless, whether you take your time to know them or you fall in love at first sight. A typical love relationship is supposed to be passionate. It is supposed to be intimate. It is supposed to be full of understanding. It is supposed to have to some great extent, some level of compatibility, whether it is sexual compatibility, emotional compatibility, physical compatibility, mental compatibility. Such a relationship is supposed to have some great level of commitment. Both partners are supposed to be committed in the love relationship. You see, all of these things I mentioned cannot be featured in love at first sight. So that is why it is safe to reduce love at first sight to physical attraction and then sexual tension and excitement, especially for a man. Yeah, as a man, I'm speaking now for the men. For example, if I see a lady and she looks good, or maybe she says something that I like, and because ordinarily I'm sapiosexual, I get attracted to a lady who is brilliant, who is intelligent. So if this particular lady I'm meeting for the first time is intelligent, there's a tendency that I begin to feel attracted to her. I begin to want to see her again. I begin to think so many things about her. I begin to imagine she being my best friend. I begin to imagine the possibility of she being my partner in case I did not have one. And then gradually, as a man, there is sexual tension building. I begin to imagine a lot of romantic moments with the lady. And then there's excitement. I could just be laughing all by myself, smiling, just because of the initial contact, the physical attraction. So, where is passion in all of this? Where is intimacy in all of this? Where is the value of understanding in all of this? Where is compatibility in all of this? And then where is commitment in all of this? So that is the thing that any relationship that happens as a result of love at first sight may lack. They may lack, such relationships may lack passion, intimacy, understanding, compatibility, and commitment. And all of these things are very important in a typical love relationship. When you get to know the person over time, you get to know their eating habits, you get to know how they talk, you get to know how they reason their ratios mentally and physically. You get to know what they believe in, their belief system. You get to know what makes them tick. You get to know their previous experiences, and how that has affected their life to this point. You get to know what they stand for. To some extent, you get to know their life purpose. So that is when you take your time to get to know them. And then you begin to build love gradually over time. You begin to say, okay, because then you consider shared values as well, very important. Similar interest. Okay, this guy will be good for a partner. He has this and this and these qualities. You cannot know all of those qualities at first sight. You cannot know all of those qualities at first sight. And you need all of these qualities as data or information to help your decision process. Because I believe that love is basically about decision rather than feelings. Yes, of course, you should be attracted to the person you are in love with, the person you're in a relationship with, but it's a matter of decision. You have to decide based on certain things that you're loving this person, you're starting a relationship with this person because the person needs to have what it takes to be in a relationship with you. Because some people do not have the capacity to be in a relationship with anybody. They may not even have the capacity to be in a relationship with themselves, let alone another person. You need to figure all of this out, and it takes time. So that is why love at first sight is risky. In the previous episode or edition of Love and Relationship Clinic, where someone from Nigeria asked about signs that a lady loves you, I mentioned the hallmarks of a healthy relationship. These hallmarks of a healthy relationship, which are empathy and kindness. That is one. So you need to know if this person is empathetic, if this person is kind. Can you know all of that at first sight? Can you? Then another hallmark of a healthy relationship is reliability and commitment. Can you know if this person is reliable? If this person can be a committed person in a relationship? Can you know all of these things about them at first sight? I think no. Another hallmark of a healthy relationship is mutual respect for boundaries. How do you determine if this person has respect for boundaries? It takes time to know this about any person. It takes time. So that is why love at first sight is risky. It's a possibility. Yes, for those who say they have experienced that, for those who say that was their own experience and they are together now living in peace, living in harmony, and they're happy together, fine. It is good. Nobody is denying that. It's a possibility. It is a real thing to that extent, but it is very risky. Another hallmark of a healthy relationship is the ability to work together as a team. How could you determine if someone you're meeting for the first time has the ability to work together with you as a team at first sight? Can you determine all of that? Yeah, some people have this special out of this world ability that they can determine everything about you at first sight during the first meeting, during the first few seconds of meeting you, you know. But then not everybody has this ability. Whether it is some psychic ability, I don't know. But then love at first sight is risky. Then another important hallmark of a healthy relationship is that do you guys have similar values and goals? So how do you determine if this person you're falling in love at first sight with has similar values and goals with you? Let's imagine you want to ask them all of these questions about values and goals at first sight. It takes time. Honestly, it takes time. Even if it takes a couple of hours, it takes time. And I'm assuring you, it takes more than that. You need to be able to know this person during the rain, when it is raining, when there is snow. You need to know this person when everywhere is dry, when it is sunny. All of these things you need to know about the person. How does it behave when it's raining? How does it behave when it's dry? How does it react to a lot of things, different situations? Love at first sight can be real, actually. It's a possibility, but it is very, very, very risky. It is too risky because love has to be intentional. You see, it goes beyond feelings. It goes beyond physical attraction. It goes beyond the initial sexual tension. Relationship, I often tell some people, it's even um, more than love. Yes. But then we're talking about love on this edition and whether love at first sight is real. So I'm saying that love at first sight can be real because it is a possibility, but it is too risky. Because love ordinarily goes beyond feelings. It has to be intentional. You have to intend that you want to love someone. Although some people say, oh, they never planned that they would love this kind of person and they just fall in love with them. And I look at them and I said, no, it's not possible. We are just not understanding certain things. You see, you could just see a lunatic or somebody who is not really looking good, who is dirty or who is homeless, and then you as a classy lady just move to him and say, oh, I love him, I want him to be my husband or my boyfriend or something. If that doesn't happen often, then it shows that love is a matter of intention. Whether that intention happens very consciously and it takes time, or it happens so fast that it appears unconscious, you still have to be intentional about love. Otherwise, you'll be making a lot of mistakes. So, you need to make a decision about your potential partner. You need some vital details to aid your decision making process. And a lot of time is definitely required to get the details, the data, the information about the person you're about to make a decision to love. It is very, very important. In any case, if you find yourself in this situation or dilemma of love at first sight and you're confused whether this is love or not, and you're meeting the person for the first time. You've seen the person for the first time. You've never seen them before. You've never met them before. But now, after a handshake, after a hello, you're feeling like you have butterflies in your tummy. You're feeling this sort of chemistry and you're thinking that you're in love. You need to ask yourself certain questions before deciding to take a step further. When you think you have found love at first sight, you need to ask yourself, can you listen to me? Hope if you're listening, you need to ask yourself very important questions now. Think about 4 or 5 questions you need to ask yourself. You need to ask yourself, do you think about this person all the time? So much that you cannot even stop thinking about them. You cannot stop thinking about what you saw, the clothing they wear, the smell of their cologne, and so many things, small details about them. You just cannot stop thinking about all of these things. And you can't focus on anything else since the time you met this person. If this is true, this is also a sign that you may be experiencing love at first sight. Do you have a clear physical reaction in this person's presence, in their presence, like you're fidgeting, like you feel awkward when the person is around you physically? This is a sign that you're experiencing love at first sight. Do you feel a strong emotional connection to this person? If you feel so, and you're convinced that there is this deep emotional connection to them, then you may be experiencing love at first sight. But I also want to tell you that every strong emotional connection with another person doesn't usually translate into romantic relationship. I've had very close friends. In fact, we live worlds apart. And we're so close, we're so emotionally connected, but we never contemplated relationship. I have a couple of ladies in my life who are Black Americans, and I like the way they think. I like the way they talk about things, and they like the way I talk about things. And we share so many things together. In fact, we experience some certain level of spiritual compatibility and emotional compatibility. But that doesn't mean we have to be in a romantic relationship. Some of them are already in some relationships, some of them are not. But you see, we just connected. And there are a lot of good things we could do together because we're connected. It doesn't have to be romantic relationship. But then if you feel a strong connection to this person that you're contemplating whether you're falling in love with at first sight, then you may be right. You're falling in love at first sight. Another question is, do you feel this person is familiar to you, like this person seems like somebody that is not strange to you. All of a sudden this person seems like a family member, this person seems like a friend, this person just turns out to be your best friend. All of a sudden you've never seen them before, you're meeting them for the first time and you just click. There's this strong chemistry. And then you know you feel that this person is safe with you, this person is safe to you. In some way you feel safe with them as well. You feel comfortable being with them. You feel so comfortable talking with them or chatting with them. This could be a sign that you're experiencing love at first sight. But you see, all of these things actually uh, could have been prompted by the release of hormones as a result of the physical attraction, the sexual tension, and the excitement. These three major hormones, oxytocin, dopamine, and serotonin, they will help you feel good about everything about this person. And then there is this halo effect. The halo effect makes you translate just one aspect of the person that feels good to mean that every other aspect of the person feels good, for example. And so everything about the person feels good for you. That's another thing you need to take care of. So, hope. from Ghana. I'm telling you that love at first sight is a possibility and it can be real. Do you understand? Is your question answered?
Yes, I
Satisfied?
do. Yeah, I do understand. But I have another question I want to ask you though.
All right, let's have it.
Yeah. So is it right for a lady to introduce a male friend to her man, like to her partner? Like she
Wow.
introducing a male friend, like a guy, to her
Okay.
partner to say, like, this is my bestie, this is my friend to her
Wow.
partner.
Wow. All right. That's another interesting question. Thank you very much. Hope. Yeah. The matter of whether something is right or wrong, that's relationship ethics. Okay, good. Um, as a clinic doctor now, I'll tell you that this also is to some extent subjective because while it may be right for some people, it may be wrong for some people. So it depends on your partner actually. For me, actually, I think that one of the things that you should discuss with your partner the first few weeks, few months into your relationship should include things like this, like whether, for example, as a lady now, whether your man would like to have you have other men as best friends or not. A lot of men actually don't want their ladies to have uh, best friends from the opposite gender, that is, to have other men as best friends. And so you should have discussed this with your partner and you should have known the boundary. Oh, this line should not be crossed. Or maybe on no condition should you have um, a male best friend. And I'm not going to have a female best friend either. You know, you should have talked about these things, or whether, oh, baby, it's okay, it's fine. You could have a male best friend because I cannot be everything for you, to you, and all of that. So, and sometimes I'm even too busy, and I don't want you to feel cheated. So, why not you have someone you could talk to once in a while? And I believe you that you mature enough to create boundaries with that person so that you don't get too close. Some partners may feel like it's not a bad thing, but from my experience counseling people, especially African men, I think that a lot of men, especially young men, I don't know why. Okay, maybe because of their own personal experience, they really do not want their ladies, their girlfriends, their fiancés, their wives to have other men as best friends. They do not want them to have other men as friends, let alone best friends. And that's because of certain funny incidences where the besties end up sleeping with their wives, their their ladies, their girlfriends, their fiancés, or they got to find out that this so-called bestie is actually a sexual partner to their lady. All of these things actually have made some men to make up their mind that no, 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 no. This is a red flag. This is a no-go area. This is a line that should not be crossed. This is a very strong boundary to maintain emotional safety in this relationship. I'm not going to let you have another man as a best friend. And I'm not going to have another girl, another lady as a best friend. Because I often tell people, don't demand for what you cannot supply in a relationship. So if you do not want your lady to have a best friend as a man, another man as best friend, then you shouldn't have another woman as your best friend either. All of these things, that's why I say it's subjective. These things depend on the people involved in the relationship, what they accept in their relationship and what they do not accept in their relationship. Every relationship should have goals. Their relationship goals, their relationship, like some kind of terms and condition, like, okay, in this condition, in this situation rather, under this circumstance, we could do this, we could do this, we could do that, we could allow this, we could not allow that. Some couples even talk about allowing another male to come in for
some threesome sexual experience or something. Some people accept some of these things to some extent. Some people cannot even entertain their lady having a handshake with another man, maybe because of some religious inclination or whatever. But what matters is what works for you in your relationship may not work for another person in their relationship. But as a rule of thumb, I encourage every lady to know what a partner feels about things like this. If your partner has told you before, either directly or indirectly, that he doesn't like you or he doesn't like his lady to have another man as best friend, then you should please help yourself not to have another man as best friend, because this thing is tricky. Some ladies will be like, wow, I'm big enough, nothing can happen. Yes, nothing can happen, of course. But what about the other man? Is the other man thinking the same? What if the other man is always planning? Each time you're talking, you're chatting, he's always planning on how to get you hooked. He's always planning on how to get closer to you and get to do some physical stuff with you. But you are there thinking that, oh, we're just friends. And then what happens to your man now if that happens, or it almost happens? Or what happens to the safety of your man if this other man is contemplating some sexual experience with you? Don't you think your man is now at risk? His life is at risk because another man wants you sexually, and he is now the one preventing you from giving that sexual experience to that man. So his life is at risk. So that is why I often advise ladies, advise men too. When you are in a relationship, a lot of things have to change. If you used to be the lady's man before, now you're in a relationship, you need to respect your partner. You need to respect your partner and create very healthy boundaries with other people, especially members of the opposite sex that are also potential partners for you. Anybody that has the quality, that has a tendency in whatsoever way to be a partner to you, sexually or otherwise, you need to create a boundary with them once you're in a relationship in order to create emotional safety in your relationship. Create boundaries so that you allow for emotional safety in your relationship, so that your partner will not be thinking, oh, what is he doing with this girl? What is she doing with this guy? Why is she always calling this guy? Why is this lady always calling him? You need to create that boundary as a responsible lady, as a responsible man who knows what relationship takes. Relationship is a serious business. Relationship is not for kids. So if you are not ready for relationship, you can still be playing around and having different sexual partners or play partners or whatever, or playmates. But if you want to have a relationship, a love relationship, then you need to create very healthy boundaries between you and other people, especially members of the opposite sex. Anything that will affect your partner, because sometimes it may not affect you. In fact, it may make you feel good that you're chatting with another guy for hours. It may make you feel good that you're chatting with another lady for hours. But what about your own man? What about your own lady? How does that make her feel? How does that make him feel? So, um, I would say that depending on who is your man, it is neither right nor wrong to introduce a male friend to your man. But I can bet you that from my experience, the majority of the African men do not like that. So if you're dating an African man, there is a high tendency that he doesn't like that. And you should have known that, because seriously, you have no much business getting too close with members of the opposite sex now that you have a man in your life and you're in a relationship. It's not like you cannot do things with members of the opposite sex. For example, your boss at work, your colleague at work could be members of the opposite sex, and then you create boundaries. Everything ends there at work. You don't bring it back home. When you come home, you're coming home to meet your own man, your own family. Nothing else should interfere. I often tell people we are the cause of our own problems. We often cause our own problems because we want to enjoy both worlds. That's how some people still allow their exes to be in their life in some way because they still want to benefit from that relationship, that connection with the ex, while in another relationship. No, that is a no, 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 no. Respect yourself, respect your partner, and don't give them any reason to begin to doubt you. So that is why you need to create healthy boundary with members of the opposite sex. Hope, I don't know, is that question answered? Did you get the gist? Did you get all
Yes,
of it?
please. Yes, please.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate. I've learned so much from you from this episode. Thank you.
All right, Hope. So don't hesitate to uh, come to the clinic some other time if you have any question, any issue that needs to be treated. And to all of you listening to us, whatever it's your issue, whatever it's your concern, whether it's about love, it's about sex, it's about relationship, this is Love and Relationship Clinic, and you are always welcome. There is no judgment here. All we do is to provide treatment, solution to problems, and together we'll keep promoting healthy relationships and emotional safety. This is Love and Relationship Clinic. I'm your host, TB Caleb. I encourage you to join us on another episode next time, and I'll be signing out now. This show is powered by Beck Vision Studios. Join us another time. Thank you so much.